My name's Doocey. I put a video up on YouTube last Thursday, the 15th of January, about Garda corruption. It was in relation to a girl I'd gone out with, who had previously gone out with a detective. He didn't like that. He came after me. I was framed on many charges. You can watch the video. The story is in it. She ended up back with him, and so it progressed from there. But it destroyed my life to the present day, 15 years on. It's been a frustrating 15 years, and last Thursday I got a chance to put it up on the net and go public with it. However, it obviously upset quite a lot of Gardaí, because last Saturday morning at 10 to 8, the 17th of January, a knock came on, or the doorbell rang in the house. I was in bed with my partner, Anne. She got up to answer the door. She went up the hall. I heard the door open. I was kind of curious as to who would be calling that early on a Saturday morning. With that, I heard her scream. She said, "You can't come in." From the way her voice was travelling, it was like she was being forcefully pushed down the hall. I jumped up out of bed, put on my trousers, probably just stepped out of the bedroom door, and was met by Gardaí and detectives, all in bulletproof vests, a lot of them armed, a couple of plainclothes detectives, and I was pushed back into the bedroom. I wasn't fully awake. I remember looking around, and there was about 12 members of the Gardaí in the bedroom. My partner Anne came back in the room, and she walked to the other side of the bed where her phone was. She went to grab the phone to record proceedings, and with that, a bond Garda shoved her against the radiator, and she fell back against the window and grabbed the phone off her and said there'd be none of that effing going on here. I shouted, "Leave her alone and don't touch her." There was a Garda identified himself as a superintendent. He told me his name, but I can't remember what it is. He said he was searching the house, and I asked him to show me the warrant. He said he would. No warrant was produced. I said I wanted to know why he was, what was the reason for the search, what letter of complaint he had, or why he was here. And with that, he said to them, "Oh, arrest him." With that, as Anne described it, my partner, I was rugby tackled to the bed. She said that 5 Gardaí held me face down on the bed. There was a knee in the back of my neck here. There was another knee on my right shoulder blade, and my 2 arms were pulled behind me, and I was handcuffed. Do you want to see the marks, the handcuffs there? Yeah. And I hadn't my shoes on. From there I was dragged up and frog marched outside the house in my socks. It was spilling rain. I was drowned wet by the time I got to the squad car, and I was put in the back of a marked squad car. I was left there for a couple of minutes, and I kind of composed myself, and I looked behind me and seen 3 unmarked squad cars, 3 Mondeos. I was in a marked squad car, and there was another marked squad car in front of me. My estimation that there was probably 20 or maybe in excess Gardaí on the premises. I was then brought to Barracks and placed in a cell, and I was held there for about 3 hours. No rights were read to me. I was just put in the cell. I was read rights in the barracks, and when they asked me did I understand my rights, I said no. They wouldn't tell me why I had been arrested, why I was placed in the cell. So I was there for a few hours, so I asked for a doctor because I couldn't move, my shoulder was very stiff. And I also asked for a solicitor to find out what was going on. I was probably waiting about 3/4 an hour or so for them. They arrived more or less the same time. The doctor examined me and said it was probably muscular damage. And I was brought out of the cell, and I was brought into an interview room where a solicitor came in, and I just asked him, I said, "Have you found out what's going on?" And he said, I said, "Why have I been arrested?" Oh, he said, you're being released without charge. He said, "You've been arrested for obstructing a search warrant," which I thought was a complete joke. So I said, have you seen the search warrant? And he says, no, they weren't able to show me a warrant. So I says, there is no warrant, and he says, it looks that way. So I said, this can't be done. You know, so I said, I can go. He says, yeah, they're releasing you. So I said, that's fine. When I got home, I was talking to Anne, my partner, and I asked him, had anyone seen a warrant? My father was in the house. No warrant was shown. A lot of stuff had been seized in the house, and no list or inventory of what was taken was given. Computers were, 2 computers were taken. All our phones, all my historical files on Garda corruption, and my own case, and the proof and evidence of that. Revenue files were all taken, I don't know why, and a lot of important integrity confidential documents. And a lot of people's phone numbers and addresses and email addresses have now been compromised. When I was back in the house and I was talking to me father and Anne, my partner, I asked them things about what the guards had said to them. They said at one stage they actually tried to get nice, to talk nice to them, and they were asking them funny questions like who owned the house, who pays the bills, whose names the bills were in, who owns the land around the house, you know, kind of funny questions. And Dad asked for one of the Gardaí there, a detective from Ballina, to be removed. But my father said to them, he says, I don't know any of ye from around town. He says, I don't recognise any of you. So they said, no, we were actually sent down from Harcourt Street in Dublin for this. So he doesn't know how many of them were actually from Harcourt Street, but obviously a few carloads anyway, because I only recognised maybe 1 or 2 as locals. I think what this, anyone watching this who's a taxpayer in this country wants to start trying to comprehend the actual financial cost on the taxpayer of this corruption, you know, of giving the state and the Gardaí an unlimited checkbook to do what they want. It's just ridiculous. And this country is going down the tubes rapid, and in my estimation it's all connected to corruption. To me, they told my father and partner Anne that the raid was something to do with an email. It was never said to me. They asked Anne, had she sent any emails, and they brought her down to one of the bedrooms and forced her to make a statement, or they told her she'd be arrested. I asked Anne, did they caution you, and had they written it on the top of the page that you were under caution and that you had the right to remain silent? And she said no, they said they were going to arrest me if I didn't make the statement. She was highly upset. She was roaring, crying. I don't think she slept since. She woke up at 5 o'clock this morning screaming in a massive panic attack. She's gone to the doctor today and has had to go on serious medication for this. The house we live in is my father's home. He's 76 years of age. He has never so much as had a parking ticket in his life. He wouldn't harm man nor beast. Anne has worked 27 years between Roach's stores and Marks and Spencer's. I've worked all my life, except for the last year or so. We don't do people any harm. We are honest people. We don't deserve this. This is not a natural society as we stand today. We had no rights. They wouldn't let Anne go to the toilet. She asked, could she go to the bathroom? And they said, we go with you. She says, no, I need to go to the toilet on my own. They said, no. She said, well, one of you stand outside the door and one outside the window if you think I'm going to try and run away. They would not let her go to the bathroom. So you can imagine what happened with the fear she was under. I am shocked at the way this has happened. And these orders came from fairly high up, from the top. And these people know who are giving these orders. I am disgusted that Gardaí can be told to go out and do wrong and will do wrong. You should hang your head in shame. If you think that I'm going to be intimidated and put off fighting corruption, you've made a serious mistake. You are making us stronger, and we are going to fight even more.